Science and technology. We are building a future together. You know, becoming the world's #1 brand for beauty device systems for 6 consecutive years. That's no cakewalk. But new skin? We've got science, innovation, and hard work in our DNA. It wasn't always glitz and glam. We started with a dream back in 1984, just a few products and a whole lot of ambition. And by 1991, we were taking on the world, opening our first overseas market in Hong Kong. LifePak was out there, making waves alongside our big entrance into Europe. Then came 1996, a big year. We hit the New York Stock Exchange, a publicly traded company founded on family values. And we also launched the new Skin Force for Good Foundation. That is all about spreading positivity and making the world a better place. In our pursuit of promoting healthy lifestyles and inner well-being, we acquired Pharmanex in 1998, introducing supplements and wellness programs to our markets. In 2001, we pioneered the handheld Galvanic Spa, a compact, intelligent, and powerful device that marked Nu Skin's entry into the era of cutting-edge devices. Nu Skin establishing Nourish the Children in 2002. We committed to the belief that no child should endure hunger. We want to empower future generations one meal at a time. And to date, we've provided over 800 million meals. Continuing our commitment to technological innovation, we launched the Pharmanex Biophotonic Scanner in 2003. In 2009, we revolutionized our product line with age-lock science-based products and forging a partnership with LifeGen Technologies. In 2010, our founder's vision materialized, with the creation of the Innovation Center in Provo, serving as an open campus for our employees and brand affiliates. Our partnership with LifeGen flourished, culminating in Nu Skin's acquisition of LifeGen in 2011, opening doors to faster innovation, revolutionary products, and limitless possibilities. In 2015, Nu Skin's incentive trip to Morocco won the prestigious C&IT Award for Best Incentive Trip of the Year, a tradition we continued with our island trip. We earned Euromonitor's recognition as the world's #1 brand for beauty device systems in 2016, and we've proudly held that title for 6 consecutive years. Venturing into the Internet of Things realm in 2022, we connected our first device online, the age-lock Lumispa IO, ushering in a new era of connectivity and innovation. This laid the foundation for the launch of our integrated beauty and wellness device, the age-lock WellSpa IO in 2023. With 40 years of dedication to science, innovation, and perseverance, we stand poised to embrace the boundless opportunities that lie ahead. Just imagine the opportunity.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining tonight. I'm super excited to be with you. And again, if this is your first time joining, please grab a pen and paper so you can take down any notes, any questions that you might have, so that we can be best to service those and answer your questions as best as we can. So for those of you I have not had the opportunity to meet yet, my name is Jason Harris from the Beaumont, Texas area, about 100 miles outside of Houston. And if you would have asked me, 10, 15 years ago, if this is what I'd be doing for a living, I probably would have laughed in your face. I was a guy that spent 10 years in corporate America at AT&T. I transitioned to building my first small business in 2002, where I was able to retire from AT&T in 2008. And I went out on my own, and I thought I was achieving the American dream. I thought I had it. I really created myself a job. And I was looking for a way to not only be a great provider for my family, but also a present dad. I was really looking for a way to be a part of their lives and not just provide for them. And that's when this opportunity came. And it was honestly an answer to a prayer I didn't even know I was praying, and it's radically changed my life. So I'm super excited to be sharing some of this with you tonight. We're going to kind of go over a few things. We'll spend about the next 30 minutes together talking about the opportunity. Some people will call it a problem. I look at it as an opportunity, the solution for that, the company, the business model that's in front of you, and also really timing in the marketplace. So if you look at what some people call an opportunity, in my view, that the world is aging. To me, aging is a recession-proof business. I've never met one person in my 49 years on this earth that said, you know what? I want to get really ugly as I get old, or I hope my health really declines really badly. right? Like nobody says that. Everybody wants to age younger longer. And so when you really think about how we used to think about aging, it has shifted. Way back in the day, I even had a guy at church tell me the other day, well, my granddad had cancer, my dad had cancer, I'll probably have cancer. Right. And we all used to think that our genes are what they were. We inherited it, and there's nothing we can do to influence them. We know now through science and nutrition that if we feed our body specific ingredients, if we give our body what it needs, we can influence genes back to their youthful state so they operate like they did when we we're young. So if you think about like as we age, say your mental cognition or your energy and stamina levels, libido, things like this, as those wane over time, we can actually increase or reset those genes so it functions and we felt like we did back when we we're 18, 20 years old. And it's all about this right here, that difference between the lifespan and youth span, right? So we are living longer because of technology, medicine, you name it, we're living longer. But what kind of quality of life is that keeping up? And for most people, it's not. And for most people, it's because of their nutrition. It's how they're taking care of themselves. It's lifestyle choices. And so I don't know about you, but have you ever seen pictures of, say, identical twins and one smoked and one didn't? Right? They age completely differently because of lifestyle choices. I've seen 80-year-olds with their hair on fire living life to its fullest, and I've seen 80-year-olds bedridden. What's the difference? Sometimes it really goes down to just lifestyle choices. And here's one of the problems that we're all going to run across. Now, it has been said that our life, the length of our life, is directly proportional to the amount of free radical hits that we get in our day to day. And so we know we need to protect against it because as these free radicals come and we get hit constantly, again, like it was just showing pollution and smoking and just different choices throughout, what are we doing? And when you look at like an apple is such a great example because as we open that apple up, if we don't do anything, it oxidizes, it turns brown. Now, if you put lemon juice on top of that apple, it doesn't turn brown because it is an antioxidant. It protects against that oxidation, against that free radical damage. That's what we need to do. So, it's almost like how are you aging from the inside out? And so we know in today's world, for example, that we need to take supplements because the way they manipulate and manufacture our foods, it is so much harder to get what we need to out of a normal diet. And, we've seen it when I was a kid, it used to be told, that's all we used to hear, 2 to 3 servings of fruits and vegetables a day is what you need. Now it's literally 10 to 12. And again, the way they mass produce it and the way they manipulate our foods, and or other chemicals they put on it, the plants themselves are producing less natural antioxidants. So again, we're consuming less. And it's not necessarily what you're consuming, it's also what you're absorbing. So again, most people know, again, as this shows, 3 out of 4 people are taking some kind of supplement because we know we need to supplement. Now, what's the problem? What do I take? And then how do I know it works? I mean, you can go into stores and see an entire shelves full of B12 from all these different manufacturers. Awesome. Which one do I take? And how do I know the one I'm taking if it's actually working? And that herein lies the problem, right? It's a massive industry that we don't know. So let's talk about the solution to that. Have you ever thought about the fact that literally 15 seconds can change your life? And we're coming out with this technology that you're seeing where we can literally measure in real time the concentration of antioxidants in your living tissue. It's more accurate than blood serum testing. So we can provide measurement. We've been doing it for years. We're about to take it to the in-home experience, which is going to be amazing. Now we've talked about this word biohacking. You probably heard it in the marketplace. It's everywhere between, saunas or cold plunges or hydrogenated water, right? All these ways. What is biohacking? It involves someone making incremental changes to their body, their diet, or their lifestyle to improve their health. And the best way to do that is if you can do that along with measurement, right? You can hope you're doing all these right things, but why do people go get their blood work done? Why do all these measurement type things happen to see, okay, is what I'm doing actually working? Is it making a difference? Because what is not measured can't be improved. We all know this. Measurement is the basis of all science. And if you can't measure it, what was the problem in the supplement world for as long as I can remember? I've been a CrossFit coach for a long time. I've been in the health and wellness world for a long time. I there was always, trust me, take this pill. It's going to work. Right? Take my word for it. Now there's 1,600 supplement brands out there. Trust me, take it. It works. Well, I don't have to be that guy. I can be like, take it. We can give you a 60-day money back guarantee because we can provide measurement and we're the only guys in the marketplace that can do it. And it's backed up by massive amounts of scientific validation. On our scanning device alone, we have over 110 peer-reviewed articles on it. It's an amazing piece of technology. And plus, all of the products have third-party double-blind crossover placebo studies. They're amazing. We can actually prove scientifically that they work. It's not just trust me. We actually do the work and do the clinicals. But again, to be the only guy in the marketplace that can provide measurement. So think about this. What if you're able to see exactly how you're aging from the inside out, right? How you're oxidizing, how you're rusting, right? From the inside out, and having the power to do something about it. So think about having this device at home, Bluetooth to your phone. You can scan yourself, you can see, and your ability to measure. And again, we're the only guys in the entire supplement world that can put a true performance guarantee on the product because we can provide this type of measurement. So I love this from our chief scientific officer, how he talks about how we use scientific and quantifiable research and our proprietary technology. Now, I love that even more as a business owner. I want to be the only kid in the sandbox with the toys, right? I want proprietary stuff. I want you to have to go through me to get it. If we're going to go into the market, I want proprietary technology, right? Innovation and products that support the difference demonstrated in you. Because again, we have a full line of aesthetics. We have the number one beauty selling device in the world, just like you saw in that quick video I shared. But guess what? That's easy. If you give me your face, literally in 10 minutes, I'll do a half face demo and change half your face. You can see it, it's easy. But again, with the supplement side, you can't see it. So again, being able to provide measurement is so key. And what's the importance of providing measurement? It's the basis of all behavior modification. So as you see in the bottom, that's a picture of our S3 scanner. That's our current scanner we have now. Now that was a leased technology from Nu Skin. And the problem was, honestly, we've had this technology since 2002, and there's only about 5,000 scanners worldwide. But we're the only people that can provide this kind of measurement. Now, I saw this behavior modification in my own eyes as my kids were growing up. When my boys were young, we have 3 boys. They didn't understand about antioxidants and the importance of it and all this stuff. All they knew was they wanted to beat their brother, right? They wanted the high score. So instead of grabbing some garbage snack or some bag of chips or whatever, they would go grab cherries or blueberries or whatever because they wanted to beat their brother. So their snacks, they changed their behavior because we could actually provide measurement. But again, if you look at the statin drug market, $20 billion, right? And before the 70s, that wasn't even a thing. That market was created because they started measuring cholesterol. You look at the Aurora rings, right? Like this thing is massive. There's literally there's 2.5 million rings out there. There's over a $5 billion valuation in any of the wearables. Now, I want you to ask yourself, you might be wearing a wearable right now. I bet a vast majority of people watching tonight have an Aurora ring, a Whoop band, a Fitbit, an Apple Watch. You know, all those things are great, and they can provide all kind of measurements. What's your heart rate? Did you sleep good? All these biometrics. What can't they do? They can't provide a solution. They can't tell you, okay, because of this measurement, you need this, right? That's the difference. And when you think about a $300 billion global supplement market just here in the US, 60 billion, and it's growing at scale. And if you think about the global wellness industry, which I believe we're going to disrupt with this energy or with this new technology. I mean, it's already about 6.8 trillion currently. It's going to be 9 trillion by 2028, like 2.5 years. It's just massive growth. So we have these unique windows of time where markets are scaling. They're growing at a rapid pace, and we're going to disrupt it. And there's of course, a massive business behind that because honestly, if you're spending your money, you deserve to know if it's working. Is it literally going in one end, out the other? Or is it actually absorbing and your body's using the nutrients so your body can get what it needs so it can perform like it should? That's the biggest thing. And what I love about our whole portfolio of products is no matter if someone's interested in the aesthetic side, the nutrition side, both, we can fill that client's need. I love that because there's so many companies that are so um, tied to one little thing, right? They're really specialized, but we're not. We have this full spectrum. I have a lot of people on my team love the beauty devices. They want to look good. I have another big part of my team that are athletes. They want to feel good, right? We just launched a whole holistic line to mental health. How many people do you know that have trouble with stress and anxiety, that have trouble sleeping, trouble focusing, trouble with their memory, and are looking for a natural solution? Honestly, if I had that product line alone, I could build a business because the demand is that big for that in the marketplace. Now, listen, this is 20 years of technology evolution to get to that Prysm device you see there on the right. That's going to be the new device. It's literally smaller than a hockey puck. Again, you can walk around with this thing in your pocket. It's amazing. And this is what allowed us to have this backbone of data. We've done over 26 million scans around the world, over 15 unique scans, taking that database, right? Gold, the data is the new gold, right? Taking that database and be able to put AI machine learning to it to have that to create the algorithms to create some of this technology. No one else has this. This is what I'm trying to get through. And I know I've probably been like a broken record saying it. No one else can do this. We have such a competitive advantage against anybody trying to enter the space because, again, no one else has this 20 years of intellectual property and this 20 years of data that we've been collecting over years. So as we go into this, this is what gets really amazing about where we've come from and where we're going with this scan. And the thing I really love about how Nu Skin is, just because we've had technology, we continue to innovate and get better where it's faster, more portable, easier to use, right? We don't just sit back because we're the only ones that have it and say we're good. Nu Skin's always innovating. And again, from our headquarters in Provo, Utah, we've literally went into 51 countries around the world with this scanner. We're scanning people on a daily basis. They're actually ramping up. We're scanning more people than ever right now. And again, this data is all proprietary to us. We own it. We have it, which gives us such a competitive advantage against anybody else in the marketplace. But we're about to scale at speed. So as we've taken this data, put in machine learning, AI, partner with people like Full Power AI, Infosys. It's literally going to fit in the palm of your hand and create a massive business opportunity for the people that take advantage of it. But we're going to disrupt, again, we're going to disrupt the wellness industry with this Prysm device. So think about truly intelligent beauty and wellness that we're going to be able to bring to the marketplace where these are going to be in hundreds of thousands of people's households. And you're hearing about it before we launched it. That's what's amazing about it. But we can prepare you where you can actually get your hands on one December of this year before it actually even hits the marketplace. Now let's talk about the company. We're not brand new. We've been around for over 40 years. I love that. We are a rock solid, multi-billion dollar, publicly traded innovation and technology monster that no one knows about. I get pitched companies all the time. They're like, man, it's brand new. You got to get in on this, right? It's never going to get better. It's just ground floor opportunity. And I've been around the block long enough to know that most companies, they have about a 3 to 5 year shelf life, maybe 7, right? And most companies' compensation plans aren't even proven solvent until at least 3+ years in because there's not enough people in it. So what's on paper, on theory, looks great, but is that actually proven? Now, honestly, I got approached with this company 15 years ago and I laughed in my friend's face, maybe like you're laughing about it. I rolled my eyes. I laughed in her face. I had every bit of sarcasm and skepticism that you could have because I'd been a part of 3 other companies in the affiliate marketing or direct sales space that all went under. And I'd never heard of Nu Skin. And when I found out they were publicly traded, we've been publicly traded since 1996. Man, that's a long history of transparency. We paid out over $20 billion in commissions over our lifetime. We've done 21 years in a row of over a billion plus a year in annual revenue. Out of 65,000 network marketing or direct sales companies that have been in this space since the 1950s, less than 10 have the stats we do. It's literally like 0.2%. It's amazing, but we're about to go where I believe through the biggest growth period over the next 5 years of our company's history. We do about 2 billion a year now. I would be shocked if we weren't close to 10 by 2030. Let's talk about the business model. One thing about it, if you're looking at this as a business, you're building a network, right? A distribution network that product flows through basically. It's kind of like Amazon, right? They don't own anything. It's a global distribution network that product flows through. That's what we do. Right. And so through that, we are customer obsessed. Our customers love our products. I've had customers on products for 10 plus years, but we're also leadership driven. As a leadership driven company that rewards leadership in a big way. Now, if you look at this from a business, think about just the Prysm platform by itself. It's a franchise in a box. It's a business in a box. We have all the tools, the dashboard is going to make all the recommendations. So think about our AI innovation data engine. It's basically a biosensing platform that will be connected to our app. And then there's daily customer engagement between the AI and all that in our app, going back and forth with our customers, making the recommendations personalized based on their measurements, based on their demographics, their body. But then you also have full cloud and CRMs, like everything's in place. And that's where, if again, this one platform alone, I guarantee it's going to be one of our billion-dollar platforms. We've already had several, but this is going to be one of them because no one can do what we're doing. And of course, that's going to create money. Now let's talk about money. I don't know about you, but I was taught go grow up, get an education, find a job, stay there till I'm 65, 70 years old. Hopefully I made a good enough financial decisions to retire, right? And hope that there aren't mess ups in the market. Now, I retired from AT&T in 2008 when the stock market crashed. I worked with a lady that was there for 40 years and didn't know she could afford to retire because her 401k was about 850, 900,000 and it dropped to a little over 400. And I'll never forget the realization that woman, I was 32 at the time, she had been working there longer than I've been alive at this multi-billion-dollar company, longer than I've been alive, and she couldn't retire because of the swing of the market. But that's what we're taught. I didn't want to go down there. So I started my first small business in 2002. It was a lawn and landscape company. I built it big enough so I could retire from AT&T in 2008. And I went out on my own. And just like I said, I owned a job. We're making a lot of money. We're doing 250, 300,000 a year. And I was never home. And even when I was home, I was still working on the business. I was still doing all the busy work, the estimates, the invoicing, scheduling, employees, all that stuff. And here was my problem. So when I was looking at this company, it was not a financial problem for me. We had money. It was a time problem. Again, like I told you earlier, I wanted to be a present dad, and I didn't know how I could ever exit out of what I was doing and maintain standard of living. How do I ever stop? Because I created this monster. I knew I needed to move over to the right-hand side of this quadrant and really own a system that I could leverage, right? Uncouple myself from my income. How can I get to a point where once I build something out, my income is not dependent on my personal time, energy, and effort in order to keep getting paid? That's what I was looking for. So if you've ever entertained wanting to build a long-term residual cash flow asset that you could will to your kid, you're in the right place. You're listening to the right information tonight. Now, when we talk about it, like I said, there's multiple aspects to the business. We have a large customer base that are, for lack of a better word, addicted to our products. Why? Because they perform. They do what they say they're going to do. Now, we also have a lot of casual affiliate marketers. They want to make a little bit of extra income to supplement their income, and they love our products. And then we have other people that see the business. And they want to build something to scale. Now, when we talk about our sales performance plan, there's basically 5 ways we get paid. The top 3, literally, if you signed up tonight, you can start making money out of the top 3 tonight, right? So retail profits, we average about 35 to 40% retail profit. And then any of my direct customer sales volume from day one, I have the opportunity to make anywhere from 4 to 20% off my direct customer sales volume. Just if I was just an affiliate marketer. Now I could be an affiliate marketer for Amazon and make like 3%. Or I can make anywhere from, like I said, it goes from 4 to 20% here. And then if I had a friend that wanted to supplement their income, make a little money too, be another affiliate marketer, and never really build a team, just be an affiliate marketer sharing about products they love, I can make an override of 4 to 24% off their customer volume. When you get into the building bonus and the leading bonus, those are people that are actually wanting to build a business, to create leadership on their team, help other people create income for their lives and their family. Now, here's what I saw when I looked at this, and I apologize for the script, the font being a little bit off. I'll fix that after tonight. But here's what I saw. Again, we're publicly traded. These are our averages. We're transparent out in the open. Now, I want to draw your area to 3 places really quick. Number 1 is brand rep. That's our first entry level of leadership. The average brand rep last year made $550 a month, just commissions. Not any retail profit, just commissions. Now, I really want you to ask yourself seriously, would an extra $550 a month right now of extra cash flow make a difference in your bottom line? I would bet that 90% said yes, because that's about how many people are living paycheck to paycheck. No matter of their income, they're still living paycheck to paycheck. Right now, when I looked at this, again, I looked all the way at the bottom. I was like, great, Blue Diamond Director, 36,000, almost 37,000. What's my chances of being there? And I looked through their history, and 95% of the people that got to brand rep, they kept going, they learned this business and didn't quit. 95% of those people within 10 years are sitting at that level. And I remember thinking, I was 34 when I joined the business. I remember thinking, I'm going to be doing something for the next 10 years. Why not give myself a 95% chance of creating an asset that averages $37,000 a month? Right? And if you look over to the right, basically 3.3% of our brand reps, so not total affiliates, brand reps are at that level. Do you realize in our business, you are 33 times more likely to hit the top of the compensation plan than you are in corporate America? 33 times more likely. But most people quit on themselves way too soon. What I loved about this industry is no one can fire me and no one can make me quit, right? I can be really stubborn. Now, right in the middle of the comp plan, I want to draw your attention there. It's basically Ruby and Emerald, basically between 4,000 and 6,000 a month. I love those areas because most people start this business in the cracks of their day. They leverage the systems that are already in place, and part-time, they start hitting those levels. That was me. I still ran. I had 7 LLCs. I had 3 boys under the age of 8. And I had a wife that was not really excited about this business when I started. But yet I just kept working. I learned a new skill set. I just kept learning and learning and learning. And this business has set us free. Now let's talk about timing really quickly, because here's where we're at with this first mover's advantage with entering the wellness space with a new, basically in the wearable market that no one else can do. Again, we haven't even fully launched it yet. Now, again, I told you earlier, we have about 5,000 of our current scanners in worldwide in the market. By the end of Q1 of next year, we want to have about 25,000. I think about the first iPod. Apple, they launched the first iPod in 2001. They were a $5 billion company, 2001. They disrupted the way people consume entertainment with that. By 2007, 6 years later, they were a $24.5 billion company. What if someone said back then, it's 2001, Steve Jobs came to you and said, listen, you help get these into the marketplace. Every device you help get in the marketplace, not only will I help you, allow you to make a piece of that, but everything we add on from here on out, you'll make a piece on. I mean, would you have even hesitated knowing what you know now? That's where we're at in the wellness industry. It's going to be absolutely disruptive. So the timing in the marketplace is huge. And this is what I was just talking about. Q4, all right, if you hit that first level of leadership, that first brand rep level, December, you'll have a chance to get your hands on your own. And then as we go into the full launch, We're going to have thousands of these over the next couple of years, hundreds of thousands of these into the market because this will be a global launch. So where are you going to enter the market? You have a chance right now before this wave hits to be on the front end of it. Now let's talk quick numbers. If you think about, okay, in my network of people, I have 50 of these Prysm devices in my network. Each of them have about 10 subscriptions at $100 a piece on it. At our lowest percentage you could possibly get paid, that would have $2,500 a month of a leveraged residual asset. Now, I used to invest in commercial real estate. We still do at some aspects. I was thinking about how many millions of dollars worth of real estate and debt I would probably have to cash flow 2,500 a month. But here I don't have any of that risk. Now, what if 5 years out I 10 times that? Would it be worth taking action and betting on myself, partnering with a rock solid company and going for it because of timing in the marketplace? Here's another big thing why we're about to scale is India, right? India is the largest country in the world. There's 1.4 billion people in it, and 65% of their 1.4 billion is under 35, right? It's a massive, young, hungry marketplace. We're going to go in with that Prysm device. What's key about that? Their direct sales industry right now comprises of 70% is on the wellness side, and no one can measure like we are. So this will be a billion-dollar market for us. Now, whether you want to participate in that or not is completely up to you, but it's here. So we have two major things happening. Launching new technology in the wellness space that's already over 6.5 trillion, and opening the biggest country in the world. And once we open it, it's open. You'll never have an opportunity to open the biggest country in the world again, to get in first, right? To lay the groundwork as we open and expand in this marketplace. So these are a couple of ways we're going to be actually entering into India. We'll have a beauty component with some of our beauty devices. We'll have our wellness. Again, as you see, the Prysm is going to be a massive opportunity for those that take advantage of it. And I'm smart enough to know, because I've been to India several times, that's an 11-hour difference from Texas, right? That means when I'm waking up, they're going to bed. And when I go to bed, they're waking up. You ever thought about the possibility of creating an asset that's paying you 24 hours a day? It's pretty cool, right? Back in the day, I never would have thought it was possible, but I'm experiencing it. So what do? We want you to start your free account. It's completely free to get started with us. We can get your account set up. But of course, you can't be an evangelist about something you don't believe in. The best way to believe in something is to try it yourself. And we want you to start your first 90-day transformation, whether that's on a health side or an aesthetic side. Again, we have a full integrated portfolio of beauty and wellness. Get back with the person that got you on this. Tell them what your passion is. If it's skincare, great. If it's wellness, great. If it's mental health, awesome. Like, we can show you how to get started. Now, here's just one example. A lot of people do get started with this bundle because it's some of our best nutritional products in one bundle. A lot of these, except for one of them, is scanner certified, meaning that once you get scanned, right, you take the 60-day challenge. You get on subscription. If your score does not improve within 60 days, we'll refund 100% of your money. So this has our collagen, a product called Meta that resets your entire metabolic system. It's really a head-to-toe systemic solution for your body. And you'd be shocked when you start finally feeding your body what it needs, how you feel, right? It's amazing. And so, guys, that's really what I wanted to share with you tonight. Again, I want you to get back and get your questions answered. Please I honestly almost laughed off this opportunity, like I told you earlier. And I almost laughed off an opportunity that would have cost me well over $1 million in commissions, because I almost made an assumptive decision that would have radically changed my life. And thank goodness I took a step back and I said, okay, I'm not going to assume what I know. I know I know enough to know I don't know what I don't know. And so I took a step back and I really got my questions answered. And it has been the biggest yield, lowest risk business I've ever done in my life. And it has set us apart to a point to where Vanessa and I, my wife, we can live the life we want to live and have that time together, and that time with our boys as they gotten older. Now one's 23, one's almost 21, and one's 18, right? To be a part of their lives has been priceless. It's been amazing because there have been times where life has come up and kicked us right in the face, where I don't know what we would have done if we were dependent on one or two jobs, of showing up at a job every day. But having the leverage to be able to work this business anywhere we want, and to have that recurring income stream to where if we needed to unplug to take care of the things that were most important in life, we could, and not have to worry. Or we live on the coast of Texas. We have a lot of natural disasters that hit us sometimes. And I didn't have to worry about, just because our local area was shut down, that our income stopped. So it's an amazing, unique time. Again, I'm telling you, in my personal opinion, I believe these next 5 years are going to be financially transformative for anybody that takes advantage of it. Now, the question is, are you going to be one that's going to be a part of the story, or are you just going to tell it? Because it's going to happen. So with that being said, guys, we do these calls twice a day on the same link. Feel free to use them. Feel free to get on. There's multiple leaders that do these. So at 1 o'clock Mountain and 6 o'clock Mountain, we do these. So please plug in, right? And again, get your questions answered. Get back with the person that gave you this link. They loved you enough. They cared about you enough to share this opportunity. And I'm forever grateful someone gave me this opportunity, right? She has since passed away, but I want to continue her legacy because of what she did for us and our family. And I just want to help as many people experience what we have. So take care, guys. God bless. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.